If you're in Japan, you will eventually encounter the legendary candy aisle. This country is obsessed with chewy, gummy candy ranging from rock-hard jawbreakers to fruity explosion. I couldn't help but buy these sour straws. The other flavors I've had in the past, easily some of the best. As a kid, I ate so many peach rings, my tongue went to go get milk and almost never came back, but I never learned my lesson. With flavors like lychee, mango, fruit punch, and pineapple, each bite gives you a sour shock, followed by a burst of fruit. And at less than $1 a bag, 1,428 bags of Japanese sour gummies, or the PS5 Pro. I don't know. Once again, Japan's legendary candy aisle has me in a chokehold. 4D cinema roll gummies, which sound more sci-fi than snack. Two different textures combined to form this cute little guy. These are so glossy and pristine, I'm convinced that they're just plastic, but I'm 99% microplastics at this point, so may as well round it out. My wife asked me to describe these as very girly pop, very brat summer. I don't know what that means, and I am now embarrassed. But the word that I would use to describe them? Hydrated. The chewy and tough combo surprises you with a light, airy base. A bubblegum soda flavor reminiscent of all that hubba bubba I almost OD'd on at a Civ 4 LAN party. Today, Japan's fabled candy aisle taught me a harsh lesson. Life isn't fair. Pikmin gummies, each color a new flavor adventure. But of course, Japan had to make it a full gacha system. The shiny white Pikmin. No Masuda method, no pity, but I had my uncle who works at Nintendo on speed dial ready to leak those Switch 2 documents just in case things went south. But luck was on my side. A rare strawberry lemon Pikmin, soft and tart. The others, apple, orange, grape, and Judas himself, the ice Pikmin. The surprisingly resilient guy starts off pear flavored, but then suddenly, the chill of spearmint hits you like the water wraith breathing down your neck. White Pikmin, hands down the best, but they only gave me one. Final score 9 picked men out of 10. Once again, Japan's candy aisle has me held hostage. 4D My Melody and Kuromi Gummy. Now, Blinks the cat once told me the fourth dimension is time, but I'm pretty sure it's actually NyQuil because the second you open the bag, you get slapped with that unmistakable grape smell. If you're lucky enough to survive that, then the good news is you have in one hand apple, the other hand grape, and the combo works so well it even forms a heart. But behind that oil slick texture, the grape is almost overpowering. Probably on brand for Kuromi. But at least they included an even amount for the age-old debate, angle or devil. This time, Japan's candy aisle has really forced my hand right back into my wallet for these 4D Crayon Shinchan gummies. The fourth D clearly stands for "do not actually orange," because based on the color, I kept thinking I was about to get hit with a super soaker blast of lemon, orange, and berry, but instead, ramune flavor. But there is a time and a place for ramune. It is simply the objective baseline flavor for Japanese gummies and summer festival episodes alike, which I can only describe as light lemon lime bubblegum. Despite including the pig from Tomba's weird cousin, this is simply the best, middle of the road, thick and chewy gummy. So now we can simply rate all other gummies based on which side of the Shinosuke scale it's on. But without an amazing baseline like Shinosuke and Buri Buri Zaimon, how would we know the good gummies from the bad ones? Japan's Superstar Ultra Candy Aisle has sucked me right back in, this time with a special city trial double feature, 4D Kirby gummies versus Kirby's signature inhale technique. Now both are very pink, very Poyo, but only one will reign supreme. We have the king of convincing me I'm just eating plastic, the very peach forward 4D Kirby gummies. Now these gummies are thick and chewy, but honestly, they taste a little too artificial peach flavor and not much else. Kirby's signature inhale gummies. Even without Roger Smith, I'd call these gummies the Big O. They bring in a peach and lemon star combo, offering a softer, more tropical taste with an option to mix in apple flavor from the little guys. It's a surprisingly juicy punch of apple, lemon, and peach with all three. Unfortunately, this brings back flashbacks of my Kirby main friend jumping off Final Destination repeatedly with my helpless Marth trapped inside. But after taste testing both, I have to say, the voracious gummies truly eat the competition. Japan's candy aisle almost won this round, but after scouring every store within a 5-mile radius, I finally tracked down the last pack of the Sanrio gang. Now, am I the only one weirded out by mascot suits? Because we could have had cute illustrations, but it's fine. Bandai gummies always deliver. Except Japan just had to turn this one into a random gacha as well. First, that unmistakable smell, that smelly smell that that smells like grape. And of course, just my luck, no cinnamon roll, but hey, this just means I've got a guaranteed 50-50 win coming up. At least Pudding Dog decided to show up, repping his signature yellow. The texture, chewy, not as jawbreaking as that Haribo bear you forgot about, but not as soft as Dragon Quest Puff Puff. Hello Kitty has seen better days. Now, pre-war Kitty's a little cuter, but both taste the exact same as Pom Pom Pudding. Even Pochacco and Kuromi, all the same. Oops, all grape. But honestly, for artificial grape, it's surprisingly subtle. See, now this is where I would have put my cinnamon roll if I had one. It's the ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny in Japan's candy aisle. Yanko Daisenso, or Battle Cats if you're more of a dub guy, because they have 34 different gummies you could get. Some even have an aura around them that you can eat it and make him your ally. Golden Gummy, the alt-art prismatic collector's ghost rare of gummy. Didn't pull it, no rerolls, time to delete your save and reinstall Bloons Tower Defense, and clearly I frightened the gacha gods who blessed me with 2 golden cats loaded with a strong cola flavor that I think put the rest of the gummies to shame. Box-kun and Gara, despite being cola flavored as well, just didn't taste quite as good as Gold Cat. Then we have Cyborg Gimli and Long Long Man, both ramen flavored, subtle citrus bubblegum goodness. The gummies are ridiculously soft, and I tried my best to eat around this guy Zora, but he's grape flavored, so I don't think we can be friends. Golden Cola hits hard and was a big win, but getting 5 of the same gummies out of 34 types is a bit of a loss. So you're wandering around Japan's legendary candy aisle craving some Pokemon cards, but what if you could get your fix without the cardboard? Kiarapaki, puzzle-like blocks of chocolate featuring 8 different Pokemon. They do capture the thrill of opening a pack in candy form, and some of these pieces fight back. At first I thought these were rarities, but they're actually the difficulty level of breaking apart the pieces. But luckily we got Sprigatito, and if it isn't Destroyer of Wallets, Mr. Base Set 004, the big lizard himself. Now I thought these were just going to be gimmicky candy for kids, but each section of the crispy chocolate is actually a different color-coded flavor as you take on the physical challenge of white chocolate, milk chocolate, caramel, and strawberry. It's like we finally stopped holding B and let the Crunch Bar evolve into 4 smooth flavors that have that signature crispy crunch. Overall, these were way tastier than I expected, and unlike Mega 64 eating magic cards, no ranch needed. Alright Japan, you got me. How can I resist eating the most iconic JRPG enemy? Japan just dropped these limited edition Dragon Quest Slime gummies to celebrate Dragon Quest III HD Remake, and they're an edible treasure chest, including the elusive Metal Slime. All these years later, and Japan is still obsessed with Dragon Quest. Of course, I only got 1 in the pack, but it's better than nothing. But I think we have to start with the iconic blue blob. This little guy's equal parts adorable and expendable, and let me tell you, these soda-flavored slimes hit way harder than you'd expect. Strong bubblegum flavor with a serious punch, and enough strength to be a satisfying chew but not wear you out. You fool, this was just a ploy to get Rocket Slime on the DS more attention because it's criminally underrated. But enough stalling to wait for Best Girl Jade to have Electrolyte prepped. The Metal Slime in all his glory is a juicy cola flavor, of course even better than his blue counterpart. Grab a pack before they vanish like your cousin saving over your data. Japan's candy aisle is finally answering the question we've all been asking. What do Mario's mystery blocks taste like? Super Mario Hatena Block Gummies. You've got all the usual power-ups, but unlike the games, they are just here for the ride. The blocks are the main characters now, coming in 2 different mystery flavors. Power-ups, sure, you've got Team Mario and Team Luigi. It's cute, but give me frog coins, give me flour, give me frog coins, give me money. The gummies are soft with that default grape flavor every Japanese gummy leans heavily on. It's good, but predictable. Now the blocks, whole different game. Honestly, they could just skip the power-ups altogether. The first block smacks you with a refreshingly tart lemon. The second block, sweet, juicy apple. So good, I'd sell Yoshi to the IRS for it. These blocks are a sweet and sour combo, carrying this all the way to the warp zone. Japan's candy aisle always seems to have a new trick up its sleeve, this time with Pokemon Pokepuni Gummies, with classic favorites like Pikachu, Piplup, Eevee, and Gengar. plus 2 new recruits to round out your full 6-mon team, Jigglypuff and Lucario. Happy to see my go-to steel fighting type and everyone's favorite singing menace join the squad. But what is this, gummies for Durant? For a second I was about as confused as seeing that one episode where James gets big naturals, because the whole bag is overpowered by the strong scent of cola. But luckily each color, independent of the mon, has its own unique flavor. Soda, a mix of bubblegum, lemon, and lime. Pretty standard. Lemon, subtly tart and refreshing. Cola, the absolute strongest of the bunch, with a gingery kick. And my old nemesis, and truly the Pokemon dash of flavors, grape. However, all of them are incredibly soft, and while Smogon would probably give this team an F-, I'd give it a solid B+. Now we just need to get Vaporeon added, because did you know that in terms of male human and, turns out even Japan's candy aisle has an optional fishing minigame. It's Pokemon fishing gummies. You just pull the gummy Pokemon out with the soda flavored gummy line without it breaking. Reel in 12 water type Pokemon across 3 difficulty levels. And of course there's a secret level with a hidden mon. Starting strong with the level 3 shiny Gyarados. I already caught this guy in the Lake of Rage as a kid, and luckily no surf required here, so it seems pretty simple. I might be a little burned out on fishing minigames, because if I hear knocked the line one more time, I swear, you know what, I think I could handle one more. Carvana? Level 2. This spiky guy just looked more intimidating to reel into me, but still an easy catch. But we're here for the flavors. The Pokemon, a burst of sweet apple with a tangy finish. The line, classic citrusy soda. The texture, more jelly than gummy. It was refreshing and weirdly nostalgic. It even reminded me of those neon jelly Pokemon candies from the late 90s, probably hiding on a dusty Blockbuster shelf inside of a tiny plastic pack. Not knowing the secret Pokemon is gonna haunt me almost as much as not remembering the name of those old gummies. In Japan's candy aisle, you don't build the Gunpla, you eat it, sprue and all. The newest addition to the aisle, Gunpla gummies. Each pack is a gacha gauntlet, 30 cards, 3 rares, 5 foils, 2 mystery Gundam cards, and of course, the random gummy. First up, the Humble Zaku. It's no big Zam, but even the tiniest of details like the name on the sprue are there. For the card, a holo foil right out of the gate, Gelgoog Menace, with the exact same art as its Gunpla counterpart. Honestly, these gummies are harder to free than the actual models. I'm about to whip out my sprue cutters just for a Zaku. The texture is like those sticky hand toys from the prize counter, the ones you'd settle for because you never had enough tickets, but somehow even sturdier. Pack 2, I really didn't expect much after pulling a foil, but there it is. An actual Gundam, so I'm glad I grabbed 2. With the RX-75 gun tank card, oddly similar to my Armored Core 6 build. Lesson learned, never underestimate a Zaku, because this Gundam head didn't even put up a fight. Finally free from its plastic prison, the gummy's flavor hits with a sharp orange. Think orange jello, but a hyper concentrated citrus burst. Oh, and you want to know my favorite Gundam? Gundam Tanaka. The One Piece is real. It was buried in Japan's candy aisle. Or so I thought. These One Piece devil fruit gummies were so hard to find, I had to call up my back alley candy dealer. They were supposed to come with a random keychain, but my broker had other plans. And with 24 kinds of devil fruit, if you thought I was just getting one pack, then you were just... Don't give it up, Lupe! Open the pack and you're hit with an intense tropical fruit smell. And sure enough, a huge variety of devil fruits and a myriad of colors await. The gummies are a little firmer than most, resistant but still a satisfying chew. Thankfully not gum level tough, although I was a little disappointed because despite the colors, they all share the same tropical mixed berry flavor. It's like a juicy fruit punch, a nice balance between Welch's fruit mix and the OG Scooby snack. A solid A-tier gummy. And if it just had a couple more flavors, easily could have been S tier. Word on the seas is that a Gear 5 version drops soon, so I guess that means I'll see you next time on One Piece. Japan's cute fruit game finally made its move, straight to the candy aisle. Suika Game gummies. Yeah, these gummies are a little late to the party, but Hideaki Itsuno, the director of Dragon's Dogma, Devil May Cry 5, and more importantly Power Stone, said it was his game of the year 2024, so clearly someone is still playing it. Starring the heavyweight watermelon, mid-sized peach, and the pint-sized strawberry. They even put a hint on the back to stick them together in case you forgot how to play or something. First, the melon pulp. A straight shot of juicy, semi-sweet watermelon flavor. A rarity in Japan's gummy game and a very welcome addition. The heavenly peach. The classic summer taste of super sweet peach. Shout out to the humble strawburst because underneath his cute demeanor he is 100% tart. An excellent contrast. All of them are soft and springy and pretty easy to scarf down a bunch at once. Unfortunately, the board game version is all manual, but between some hands-on experience and growing up playing Neopets.com flash games, I feel like I've got a pretty fair shot at dethroning the Suika King, Premier 2. You thought this was Japan's candy aisle, but it was me, Dio. I always wondered what these trading card wafer packs were about, and seeing Dio seemed like the perfect time to find out. Mukatte kuru no ka? Nigezu ni kono Dio ni chigatsuite kuru no ka? Can't say I've seen a candy pack with a 15 plus age rating before. Each pack comes with one card, and there are 16 character cards, 5 horizontal story cards, and 2 SP cards with Jotaro and Dio. Pack 1, and right out of the gate, the cunning linguist himself, Kakyoin. The card itself is a shiny holographic plastic, complete with stand stats on the back. Pack 2, cool ice. My wife walked in right as I opened this, took one look and said, "He's tucked," and promptly left. In her defense, he really wouldn't look out of place on RuPaul. Unfortunately, a basic wafer for a show that's anything but. Mellow chocolate, but not too sweet. Overall not bad, but I wish it had a little bit more to it. Now if you'll excuse me, I'll be eating my way through a small mountain of wafers to get that Dio card. So Japan's inky tentacles have dragged me back to 7-Eleven's candy aisle for the first Splatfest of 2025. Splatoon 3, Squid vs. Octopus Gummies. Just like the 2018 Splatfest, except this time, each mollusk is repping its own unique flavor. This showdown is officially sanctioned by Nintendo, so any sore losers will be shipped off to the old IP gulag to hang out with F-Zero and Chibi Robo. These gummies are Tonka tough. They will test your jaw's resolve before your taste buds even get their say. First team, Squid, is packing a bright explosion of slightly acidic tropical pineapple soda flavor. Yes, each shape comes in both flavors, but regulations state we're going off the bag design, so work with me here. Then there's Team Octo Grape. Sure, it's an artificial grape flavor, but there's a slight tartness that helps reel in that classic Concord grape we all know and some of us love. I'm just the messenger, don't at me. The votes are in, and I'm sorry Team Octo Grape, but you now know how I felt when Team Big Man got snubbed. So if you're on Team Pineapple, you'll be happy to know the more you eat, the sweeter democracy gets. Japan's wonderful candy aisle is back to remind me that while the Switch 2 isn't out quite yet, at least these gummies got a glow up. Super Mario gummies, Mamma Mia 2, here we go again. The package shows the usual gang, but don't believe Ondor's lies. It's only Mario and Yoshi heads, plus 5 different lucky item gummies that might appear. One day, maybe we'll get some Toad and Luigi love. Sadly, the only lucky gummy is a single question block, but it's better than nothing. These used to come as little ramen flavored coins with faces on them, but now we're chomping full Yoshi head. Maybe it's a little twisted, but the flavors is where the real progress shines. Melon soda flavor is the real superstar here. A bright burst of honeydew with a citrusy bubblegum soda finish. For a Mario specific gummy, his iconic red cap screams cherry or strawberry, but instead we got cola. I'd say the flavor is a softer twist on the classic cola flavored Haribo gummy. Familiar and not bad at all. Like Sunshine, these gummies are brighter, bolder, and a solid improvement. The freeze-dried candy craze has finally made it to my local Daiso in Japan. Gummies and candy, freeze-dried. Let's see how they stack up. The Mini Crush So Yummy Baby Hi Puffy Yummy Yumi Show. Between the color and art, that last part just felt right. Starting with the gummies, these look like Cap'n Crunch berries cranked up to wumbo and coated in a sugary shell. Bag 1 is all about super sweet strawberry and lemon, subjugating your teeth to 1,000 years of sugar. The flavor kinda tastes like Fruity Pebbles. Weirdly specific and nostalgic, just with way more sweetness. Love it or hate it, Bag 2 throws in that classic Concord grape flavor. One bite and you're munching on post-Thanos snap dust, they just disintegrate. Now the candy version is a whole other beast. The candy flavors don't overlap, thankfully. These look like exploded Skittles that came straight out of the Herta's kitchen. Still crispy and brittle, starting with cola, mellow and tangy, lemon, a refreshing tartness, orange, a punch of citrus, strawberry, way more tart than the gummy. Worth trying freeze-dried candy at least once. For me, the candy version wins, ones, but if you're craving oops all berries, the gummies got you covered. Japan trapped this bear in a block of ice and we're gonna save him. With all my trips to Kamurocho's Don Quixote, I should have known the weirdest candy hides in plain sight, right above the tiny Toblerone. They don't stock the big ones because only Jaden Smith deserves those. Bear in ice gummy. Peel him out of his icy prison or eat the entire thing whole. Just like Olmec said, the choices are yours and yours alone. If you've ever wanted to taste the gelatinous cube from D&D, this is as close as you're getting. Large creature included. The cube's tough and chewy, but one side peels back easily enough. Free from his Mako tank prison, a healthy baby bear. The bear's a soft, solid jelly with muscat grape flavor. Like purple Concord grape's cooler, more refined cousin. Mellow, a little floral, not overly sweet, and perfect for eating both parts at once. Eating both as is leaves you with a satisfying chewiness that releases the muscat floodgates once you reach the core. Unlike my wings, I think I now prefer my ice bear in. Freerun's anime might be on hiatus, but Japan's keeping the fantasy alive with this. A Family Mart collab that somehow I found a full box of. Japanese social media had images of people buying whole boxes of these, so I might have used all my luck for 2025 already. Freerun chocolate with a side of gacha. These Bikurimon wafers have been around since the 70s, and at this point probably have a collab with every anime ever made. Each pack comes with one of 20 random foil chibi stickers, and just like Hoyoverse, they dare to drop 2 new secret rares on the same banner. First pack starring Freerun and Himmel. And there's no sticker. I genuinely thought I got a dud, but I'm just dumb and it was hiding in the pack. It's Werble, Biabaru. I watched the sub and now it's come back to haunt me. The foiling's nice, but let's be honest. Bikurimon stickers just aren't the same as a solid trading card. Before pack 2, a quick shout out to the wafer itself, because the thick chocolate layer inside is surprisingly good with a satisfying snap. And Laufen. I mean, Laufen's fine, but pulling 2 Chunin exam characters and none of the main cast, that's how gacha works. But honestly, just give me more Denken. Japan has over 300 types of strawberries, so I made the mistake of trying to buy all of them until my card declined. Luckily, Japan's candy aisle had me covered. This brand Nippon Ale, 48 fruit gummies, including 8 different strawberry flavors from prefectures across Japan. The farmer says 60 days, the algorithm says 60 seconds, heaven or hell. A Mao, Fukuoka Strawberry King, juicy, sweet, and a whisper of tartness, a celebrity flavor in Japan. Ibarakisu, a kiss from Ibaraki, which is not coated in sugar, mellow sweetness, and rich strawberry flavor. Yayoi Hime, Gunma's Pride, balanced sweet and sour with a hint of earthiness. Skyberry, Tochigi's vitamin flavored wild card, sweet and a little tart, but as a kid I ate a bunch of vitamins that tasted exactly like this, and now it's digging up a repressed trauma. Kotoka, Nara's bowing deer approved, sweet, tart, and thankfully doesn't beg for snacks. Ichigo-san, Saga's romance, mild, natural with a strong aroma. Mio Shizuku from Shiga, deep, floral, and perfectly tart. A flavor you want to savor. Sendai, Miyagi's sugar bomb, maximum sweetness overload. Strawberry doesn't feel like a word anymore, but Mio Shizuku wins for its bold tartness. Now, if only Japan had flaming hot Funyuns to counteract all this sweetness. Every year, Japan goes all out for Valentine's Day, with walls and walls of chocolate gift boxes lining the front of grocery stores. So I grabbed the biggest Pokemon one I could find, with a nice reusable tin that has all the usual suspects. They could have put anyone, but as long as Ludicolo was here, I'm happy. Piplup and Pikachu start us off with sweet chocolate, but despite the name, it's closer to dark chocolate because you can really taste the slightly bitter cocoa, with Mew being a much sweeter white chocolate, taking a refreshing fruit-flavored pit stop, Slowpoke with super sweet strawberry, 2 white chocolate stars with a strong citrus burst of lemon and orange, followed by 2 wrapped squares hiding a smooth milk chocolate. The Pokeball hides a caramel that'll leave you saltier than Lavos, but I wouldn't call it unfortunate. My personal favorite, the Master Ball, with a creamy, nutty mix of almond and hazelnut. Sprigatito's off doing their own thing with a mild pistachio flavor. The rest of the faces being white chocolate with some having sweet chocolate mixed in. And it wouldn't be a gift without a nice bag. Now, whose uncle do I have to talk to make sure they put the funds from this into the next Switch 2 game? Not even Japan's candy aisle is safe from the Pokemon card craze. Welcome back to episode 768 of Should I Eat It or Should I Keep It? See Pokemon Gummies. Each pack comes with a card from the insanely popular Super Electric Breaker set. You've got one shot at 16 commons, 4 uncommons, or 2 EX cards, Pikachu and Tatsugiri, the sushi-like dragon that I keep seeing more and more of here. Pack 1 starting off with Dung. Beetle, just a common reller. Spending $1 and getting a single common does hurt, but we're here for the gummy. Getting to feed the cardboard addiction is just a bonus. The gummies themselves are semi-firm jelly Pokeball disc, the usual grape flavor that's borderline overpowering, but something about the thin jelly makes it work. Purple Grape and I may have a messy history, but I don't mind these one bit. My wallet might be down, but my stomach's already up. And as a man who hates chaos once said, this is the one. Except it's Dedenne. Although to be fair, I do like all the electric rodents. Despite the grape gummies exceeding my expectations, maybe I should have kept it sealed. Why are scalpers in Japan flipping this candy for $40 a box? It seems like this brand blew up on Japanese social media. Luckily, I didn't have to deal with that because I scored the limited edition Okinawa version. With a handwritten thank you note and 6 tropical flavors, these gummies come from Lokahi, a company in Okinawa that teamed up with the manufacturer to limit 1 order per customer and keep scalpers at bay, unlike a certain trading card company. Starting with Hibiscus, a neon assault on the eyes, a soft, juicy, floral fruit punch combo coated in sugar. Sea salt soda, salty and blue like the ice cream a bunch of nobodies keep yapping about, but with the classic citrusy bubblegum ramen. Mango, incredibly sweet, almost too sweet, to the point where the mango flavor gets lost in the sugar sauce. Chiikawa, the complete opposite, a tart, citrusy punch to the face. Acerola, crisp and sharp with a cherry-like sweetness balanced with tartness that doesn't overstay its welcome. Pineapple, tangy and tropical enough to dropkick me straight to Dondoko Island. So while scalpers want $40, at $10 retail, this is neon luxury in gummy form and very worth. It's a dangerous time to live in Japan right now. With Valentine's Day on the horizon, I can't even step into a grocery store without Kirby sucking up all the money in my wallet. But when I saw this reusable tin filled with chocolates featuring super best friends Kirby and Waddle Dee, what am I supposed to do, call up the enemy sales guy? Kirby, more than you think, maximum pink, and now made out of chocolate. Starting with the happiest milk chocolate square I've ever seen. Smooth and sweet. A common but welcome sight in these Valentine's Day chocolate boxes. The solid milk chocolate stars are just as creamy, although after the Pokemon box, I think I was spoiled with the unique flavor. The same milk chocolate comes in ball form, but these wrinkly wrappers on the cute faces, a little unsettling, kind of like the deep Kirby lore at the bottom of the iceberg. And I saw this, so now you have to as well. The star of the show, so special you only get one, a ridiculously sweet strawberry milk chocolate, very on brand for Kirby. Waddle Dee has no mouth, but he must scream orange milk chocolate flavor. It's just like a Terry's chocolate orange that ends on a refreshing citrus high note, except when you accidentally drop him, he comes right back at you. Time to snack on the very foundation of Japan's candy aisle, brick by brick. Fresh out of Papa Briccolini's oven, it's UHA Tsumugi Block Gummies, facing off against Mr. Worldwide himself, 4D Gummy Block. The home team, UHA in 4 fruity flavors. Right out of the bag, they're soft and almost wet. Just go dump Vaseline on the Star Wars Lego set you keep procrastinating on and you'll know exactly what I mean. Lemon, sweet and artificial, weirdly similar to the Lifesavers gummy rolls I would get as a kid. Apple and grape are just as sweet, but the strawberry one has a nice tartness to help offset things. And even though they're slipperier than the Brickster, they stack surprisingly well, letting me pregame for my next 2-week Minecraft phase. Then there's Team 4D, which must stand for Deep Slate because these are tough, with flavors all centered around soda you'd find in Japan. Cola, basic but dependable. Soda, the citrusy bubblegum classic. Melon soda, soda's cooler honeydew flavored older sibling. Pineapple soda, a tropical burst of sweet and tangy. While UHA is soft, fruity, and squishy, something about the dense chewiness of the 4D ones is oddly satisfying. All in all, both are just another tasty brick in the wall. Japan's candy aisle got sick of my antics and told me to make the food myself. Poppin' Cookin' Pizza Edition. Rated 4 out of 5 stars in difficulty, and I have the dexterity of a thwomp. Exactly why my wife wanted to witness the unholy abomination I'm about to create. After making enough pizza Lunchables as a kid to raise my body's lead percentage to 69%, I knew I had to try the pizza version. Powdered cheese smells exactly like a bottle of ground up ready to sprinkle Parmesan. The bacon, the smell is weirdly spot on, like someone bottled the essence of a savory meaty strip. Once you've got Super Meat Boy looking all round and cute, roll them out and set them aside for later. Add powder, water, you have bread dough. But the dough can sense fear, so you have to be assertive. The sauce, watery ketchup. I don't want to think too much about it. Can't forget our side dish of fries. Luckily it came with a mold, so all we gotta do is Inazuma drop it right into submission. In Super Meat Boy, I'm sorry buddy, but you're going to the chopping block. Thankfully melon soda always has my back. Even in powdered form, it's impossible to mess up that refreshing honeydew melon taste. After mixing, shaping, praying to the microwave gods, I pop this baby in and Well, the potato is now a starchy blob that looks ready to call me his homeboy. Tastes like a potato, but kind of makes Lunchables look Michelin starred. It was fun to make, but if you've ever wondered what a mouthful of glue sprinkled with Parmesan tastes like, bone apple tea. Not even Japan's candy aisle is safe from the mollusk trials. I knew it was only a matter of time. Who chose Squid Game candy? Soft, taffy-like candy with crunchy and chewy surprises inside, including a panic sour cola surprise somewhere in the mix. I'm not even sure who the target audience for this show is supposed to be anymore, but the idea here is you try them all with your friends and one unlucky player pays the ultimate price. Unless you're Canadian, then you just respawn at Tim Hortons. I didn't watch season 2 yet, so maybe cool it before you reveal Sin is my old man in the comments. The outer taffy is mellow cola with a bit of tang. It's easy to eat a bunch, which is good because I need to find the sour one. Hiding inside are fizzy ramen pellets, like sweet tarts with a citrus twist. There are also chewy gummies that don't really have much flavor, but they add a weird texture to the whole thing. And while I search for the sour one, I just want to say, while Octopus Contest is fun, you need to watch The Genius. Severely underrated. Now that I'm off my soapbox and tried what felt like every single one, I finally found the super deadly sour bomb, which turned out to be more of a super weak sour kick. The last thing I expected to find in Japan's candy aisle, my own cat. A Family Mart exclusive cat-shaped candy with a flavor I have never seen in sour soda gummy form. And since this one has the design that matches my cat, of course I'm going with this. A new spin on the Candemia brand, Candemia. Ammoniaito gudoniaito. I'm embarrassed. But this did teach me in Japanese the cat curled up is called ammonite, like the fossil. I usually just call it ball form, which might be the fault of a certain morphing bounty hunter. And thankfully these are coated in sourness and pretty firm for gummies. First up, sour yogurt. Not Greek, just plain yogurt coated in citric acid crystals. It's creamy, but also sugary and sour. Not bad, just weirder than a Suda 51 game. Orange, favorite of the litter, with a bright citrus taste that always goes well with the actually sour coating. They won't destroy you like a mouthful of warheads, but it's a welcome kick. Grape, usually the runt, but the Concord flavor is hard, carried by the added sourness and citrus soda flavor. While the gummies line up just as advertised, I think the cat I got might be a little big compared to the packaging. The gods of gacha themselves are back with a revengeance in Japan's candy aisle. To quote the Game Awards, Genshin Impact. While Nadlin didn't make it in time, at least we got Farina and Alhaitham to represent. Each pack comes with a tasty treat and one of 24 different foil stickers. But no secret rare feels like a missed chance for classic gacha pain. First up, Japan's most beloved character, the winner of every popularity poll, Farina. Just pretend the poll animation's playing instead of me awkwardly dropping stuff. And give it up for expert antique appraiser, the fourth pillarman, Zhang the Dong Li. Instead of plain chocolate, this wafer hits with a semi-sweet strawberry and a nice airy crunch. Loud enough to break the silence if you're playing in English. With a flavor subtle enough to slam down a few without busting out the emergency food. Alright, Alhaitham, maybe our luck will improve with some persuasion. The elusive Shenhe, Zhao, and Ganyu. Weirdly perfect timing for Lantern Rite season. The wafers don't disappoint, but really I should be thankful this just didn't have RNG to rival Genshin's artifact system. If you dig deep enough in Japan's candy aisle, you'll find even candy can have an identity crisis. 4 different flavors of marshmallows pretending to be gummies, pretending to be donuts. It's like a chewy pound cake in gummies clothing. It's like you took an entire pack of Peeps and hydraulic pressed them into a single donut shape. But without popular chewy mochi donuts are here, it starts to make sense. Grape starts off as that purple Concord grape flavor, but it doesn't overstay its welcome because it's instantly overrun by the sticky sugar coating. Green apple. While the sugar hit is strong, the apple flavor actually sticks around this time. More of an artificial green apple with no tartness, but a complete and welcome 180 from the grape. Somehow I managed to avoid this flavor in Japan until now, but if I had to pick one artificial flavor to dunk on, it's banana. Regular banana and banana bread, no problem, but just like Star Rail's bananas, this sugary explosion is not for me. Strawberry is a sweet and chewy cloud that luckily has some sugar pearls to help keep things varied. Dense enough to almost fool me into thinking I was having a really big gummy, but it won't give your jaw a workout. I think you could take these even further beyond by using them as a topper for ice cream. When they said raw eggs are popular in Japan, I don't think this is what they meant. Japan's candy aisle may have an answer to which came first, the gummy or the egg. Hoppu Tamago, gummy in Choco. Disney edition. A chocolate custard egg, complete with crunchy sugar bits, hiding one of 12 characters inside, sort of like a Wonder Ball from ages long past. Despite saying custard, the chocolate alone tastes like an absolutely delicious, creamy, sweet white chocolate. First hatch, Dumbo, or what's left of him. Extraction could have gone better. The combo of creamy, melty chocolate and chewy gummy is weirdly genius. Next, Daisy with a much cleaner escape. Her tart strawberry flavor cutting right through the sweetness. The bag claims the gummies are all strawberry, but I swear each color had varying levels of juicy strawberry flavor. Windows XP logo, what are you doing here? Clearly I should have just listed this on eBay next to the Harambe Cheeto that sold for 100k. Instead of coming with Space Cadet Pinball, we got Chip or maybe Dale. It's been so long since those two built me a ship, I can't remember which one's which. Japan's candy aisle offers us the chance to peel the flavor right out of the gummy, specifically at Don Quixote. If you hear a kid complaining about a stolen video game and a guitar riff kicks in, you've come to the right place. Muku Gumi, or peeling gummy. First up, melon. A semi-firm skin that gives way easily enough, almost like the outer shell of mochi. Rip it open and you get hit with a blast of sweet, creamy melon. Not artificial, not weird, because one of the main ingredients, actual fruit juice. Apple, stem included. This one's got an oily, greasy coating, like it just rolled out of the rain-slick precipice of darkness itself. But if you manage to wrench the semi-firm gummy skin open, you get a juicy, jelly-like center. It's not too overpowering, easy to keep coming back for more, as long as you don't mind your apples a little sweaty. Lychee. I used to say lychee, Japan says raichi, and now we're lychee. Either way, I'm losing. After getting schmixed on a bunch of lychee cocktails during a trip to LA, this flavor became one of my all-time favorites, and these absolutely nail it. Despite looking like an Octorok or something else that'll get this video flagged, it peels open easily with a way higher jelly ratio than the apple. A little floral, a little tropical, and bursting with juice. The skin on each one is muted and chewy, so while peeling might be fun, the real move is cracking them open in your mouth for the rush of sweet jelly. Japan got me again, convincing me to buy gifts solely for myself, this time with the tiniest fruit in jelly form. Fruit jelly collection, doesn't get more literal than that. A constant temptation for my local grocery store. Redundant packaging aside, inside your Hallmark card you'll find 15 different flavors of tiny fruits. And as for the plastic, enough to take out Bentley the turtle. Starting with strawberry, sweet, sticky, and the undeniable leader of the clock crew. Grape, it's purple, you know how this ends. Ume, sweet, floral, maybe too floral. Green ume, a softer, mellower take. Mango, tropical sweetness, Fox and Falco approve. Orange, tangy and strong citrus, same goes for pineapple. Banana, the worst artificial taste, and in this case, not even useful for scale. Lemon, party of sour tartness. Grapefruit, it's not your fault my taste buds find you bitter, disqualified. Prune, sweet with a nice tart aftertaste. Peach, juicy and sweet. Muscat, purple grape's cousin that actually gets invited back to family events. Apple, the green kind, perfect balance of tart and sweet. Raspberry, sweet and acidic, best emote. They've got a firm jelly texture, but they're a little too syrupy. But if Mr. Milkshake brought me a fruit basket of these as an apology, I wouldn't be mad. Japan's cunning candy aisle will do anything to win my attention. They aren't afraid to even use Kitten, but I'll let it slide because today, February 22nd, is officially Cat Day in Japan. Need Nyanko Gumi, aka Kitten Gummy. To celebrate the most important day of the year, Family Mart said if you have coin, we have 21 items in collaboration with Mofu-san. Cozy cats who love wearing silly outfits drawn by artist Juno. These teeny tiny kitten gummies come in 3 distinctly different flavors and might be the smallest gummies I've ever had. Each gummy features a tiny kitten with the same innocent face my cat gives me when it's time for his FOOD. He's always watching, always waiting, so you can never be too careful with that word. Anyway, starting with pineapple, mini but mighty with a tropical punch. Peach, sweet, juicy, and dangerously easy to inhale. Muscat, the sweeter, greener grape. Light enough for me to down 20 at once. Delicious little bites, but eating these in front of my cat feels like a weird power. Japan's fabled candy aisle wants you to admire the sheer length of this guy. The latest in cat technology, 3 new cat-themed gummies. Introducing Nyanto Nobita Gumi, aka Stretchy Cat Gummies. Engineered by Japan's top feline physicists, it's the closest thing we'll get to eating, ooh, big stretch, and maybe cat dog. A ton of different shapes, I'm pretty sure I only unlocked half the set list. Unfortunately for me, it's grape. But with 10% juice, 5 times the usual amount, it's got a real pleasant, juicy sweetness. And while I usually alley-oop, slam, jam grape into the ground harder than Charles Barkley's Chaos Dunk, these cat paw gummies might have changed my mind. The soft and airy marshmallow backing makes them dangerously good and transforms the grape flavor into something else entirely. But just in case I had a backup non-grape cat. Migutan, a sulky black cat with a night sky sparkle. Officially it's Migutan, but I'm calling him Dusty in hopes of manifesting gravity power. A harder gummy, yet sweet and juicy, with a crisp red apple flavor. Since black cats are the least likely to be adopted, take this as a sign. Back at it again live from Japan's candy aisle, but this time I'm hunting down something way cuter than usual. Spotted in the black sheep of Konbini's new days, Japan's never-ending obsession, Chiikawa, in gummy form, including the thing people really buy these for, the gacha keychain. Seriously, people will buy these, rip open the keychain, and then sell the unopened gummy. 13 keychains in total, so the odds of getting one of these signature Chiikawa Usagi Hachiware squad, not great. The gummies themselves come in 4 different shapes and colors and are a sweet peach flavor. I'm a steadfast believer of the more flavors the merrier, but I can appreciate a nice peach. First up we have Hachiware. And next, 2 for 2, the one and only Chiikawa. And there goes all my luck for the day. Japan's candy aisle is dummy thick, and the clap of its gummies had me grabbing these. Dobutsu no Shiri, aka Animal Bud Gummy. We've got 3 different types of bouncy buns across 7 different animals, and each one's got its own peachy flavor and texture. Japan must be answering all those try-rump messages I kept seeing in my latest return to the lands between. First up, the Shiba's Stern. Aerated, fluffy, like biting into a peach-flavored marshmallow. It's soft, but it hits all 9,000 taste buds with a mellow sweetness. These hams being much closer to the steamed variety, with a springy chewiness and filled with a stronger hit of peach. But they had nothing on these double cheek monkeys with the penultimate posterior, because inside this double layered rump was an extra juicy peach filling that just won't quit. Japan's candy aisle trapped Kirby in an egg, and we're breaking them out. These chocolate gummy eggs were already dangerously addictive, but slap Kirby on them and I'm legally required to buy them. 11 different little guys waiting inside, but they're locked behind an outer shell like a snack-based loot crate straight from EA's headquarters. And judging by how fast they rolled away the second I opened the bag, they did not want to be rescued. Best way to eat these, bite into the smooth strawberry chocolate, then hit the satisfying chewy gummy core, chipping away slowly at the outer shell, requiring almost as much Herculean effort as beating Canvas Curse. After about 9 months worth of effort, you finally get a healthy baby Poyo, springy, chewy, and packed with even more strawberry flavor. Turns out even Japan's candy aisle comes with an optional fishing minigame, Chiikawa style. Chiikawa fishing gummies have 10 varieties, including one mysterious secret. The goal, reel in Chiikawa and friends on a soda-flavored fishing line without it breaking. It seemed pretty simple, but this time they've cranked up the difficulty. These oversized circle sections stop the guy in the Japanese commercial right in his tracks. Right where the line meets them, it's thinner and prone to breaking. But on my last trip to Inaba, I caught a fish so big the locals called it the Sea Guardian, so I'm not too worried. Sure, the gummies have the texture of those stretchy hand toys I would fling around and snap immediately, but catching Chiikawa and Hachiware wasn't actually too bad. Momonoga's Heart looks about the same in difficulty, but flavor's what really matters. The soda-flavored line itself is bright, citrusy with a bubblegum aftertaste, basically ramune in gummy form. The red parts are similar, but they pack an extra burst of slightly acidic purple grape. And while not knowing the secret one will absolutely haunt my dreams tonight, at the very least, I got a new gig as Bancho Sushi's official supplier. Japan's candy aisle wants me to play another dangerously cute game, Sanrio Karapoki. Colorful corn puff chocolate bars hiding 8 breakable Sanrio characters across 4 flavors. Your mission? Free them from their chocolatey prison. The moment you open the bag, the sweet scent of blueberry corn puffs hits you, like plunging face first into a fresh box of Cap'n Crunch. But instead of pulling out Chex Quest from the bottom, the edible prize is the main event, Tuxedo Sam. And while I've only just met Tuxedo Sam, if something terrible were to it was just as satisfying. He's still delicious because each color is its own corn puff infused chocolate flavor. Strawberry, blueberry, white chocolate, and classic milk chocolate. Basically the ultimate form of a crunch bar infused with fruit flavor. Maybe I'll have better luck extracting my Melody, who's mostly... Did you know the neck is the body's weakest point? It's still salvageable. We can piece my Melody back together. Strawberry and blueberry combine into a sweet mixed berry chocolate with a satisfying crunch. Japan's candy aisle has a new release straight from the briny depths. 4D Hangyodan Gummies, the 4th D being time according to Roberta Sparrow. Celebrating Hangyodan's 40th anniversary with a little help from Sayuri the Octopus. First time seeing anything food related with Hangyodan. Is he considered a popular Sanrio character? Maybe a blue fishman just doesn't lend itself well to food. Enough hypotheticals, I know what you're thinking. How do I hand 5 gummies? But for a little more than $1, I feel like that's not too bad because these are thick and juicy. 4D gummies always have this oil slick coating to them, but for a fishman from beyond the astral clock tower, I think the texture checks out. I wanted to try just the top by itself, but I ended up giving him the Kevin the Sea Cucumber cut. Sayuri the Octopus is a sweet strawberry flavor, but I was really more interested in Hangyodan's Blue Hawaiian Soda because tropical flavored candy always hits the spot. While a pina colada is creamier, Blue Hawaiian is more pineapple citrus forward. Tangy with coconut taking a back seat but moving up the shotgun right at the end. One of the best 40s yet, but I'm also tropical flavor pilled. Japan's candy aisle always seems to know exactly what I'm thinking about. Kirby gummies, 5 flavors and one of 8 surprise keychains. And with Kirby Air Riders just announced, there was no way I was skipping these. I was already riding a wave of city trial nostalgia straight to the register. The gummies are soft, chewy, and a little more tart than expected. Less sweet red apple, more gentle green apple with emotional depth. Maybe not the perfect match for Kirby, but definitely a rarer find in Japan. And as a spry young lad, I had absolutely no trouble at all with the removal of the keychain. Pulling one Kirby and one Waddle Dee, I feel like the odds are in my favor. First up, Waddle Dee. Solid start. The dependable Dreamland sidekick. And next we just need Kirby. On second thought, maybe the odds are not that good. Kirby. Car form. Kirby. Don't get me wrong, I love his little feet dangling out the back. Great pulls, but I was hoping for the matching pink suckball on a Warp Star. Hello Kitty is back from her island adventure and now lives in Japan's candy aisle. 4D Hello Kitty gummies. The 4Ds standing for Dark Dreams Don't Die, according to Swery. Celebrating 50 years of Hello Kitty. Had my doubts about this one the moment I saw they made this British girl sugar-free. Usually that means I wind up with a weird aftertaste. And the second you grab one, you can tell instantly. It lacks the usual oily coating and instead has a glossy rubber sheen. Maybe only slightly suspicious for something that's supposed to be edible. And the smell I can only describe as pungent, sweet, maybe even a little acidic. Thankfully that vanishes once you bite in. But now we're dealing with apple vinegar soda. And despite her red apple throne color being different, it's apple vinegar all the way down. It turns out not too sweet, not too sour, and against all odds it lands somewhere squarely in red apple territory, with just a small hint of vinegar sourness. Maybe not my first choice when I think Hello Kitty flavor, but also not my last. Today my childhood pet came back from the grave in Japan's candy aisle. 4D Kingyo gummies. Add one more D and suddenly we're playing card games on motorcycles. It seemed like the West got these too, fishbowl shaped package and all, but turns out Japan's are a bit different. For starters, they've got this Fig Gummy 360 branding, which apparently means it's like a candy figure you can admire from every angle. But that's not about to stop me from eating it head first. And with the 360-like nature of the fish, doing this only felt right. A slick coating straight out of the fish tank. Random yet satisfying assortment of colors, and just like my fish as a kid, these will not be sticking around for long, because each bite is a juicy burst of peach with a soft outer gummy and a liquid center inside. When you get to the center, it's extremely satisfying, and that's the biggest difference with the Western version. The Mango Factory must have called in sick for the Japanese printing of these. Despite the color, the Japanese version has no mango. Instead, a bonus peach blast in the center that still hits, but a mango peach combo sounds even better to me. Even Japan's candy aisle couldn't escape the clutches of Nagoya's cutest chick, Piorin, the chick-shaped dessert mascot from Nagoya that's so beloved it got its own cafe and souvenir shop. They even put him in the signature cake tray on the front of the bag, ready for sacrifice. He's supposed to be soft, delicate, and basically melts if you look at him funny. Normally you can't find him outside the Tokai region, but someone out there wanted me to try the gummy version and I wasn't about to say no. The gummy itself, soft, bouncy, and covered in a faint mochi-like starch. I was hoping for something a little weirder, a gummy to rival the chick-shaped cake, or maybe a gooey yolk center, but what you do get is a bright, candied lemon hit. Very sweet at first, then swerves into tart territory, quietly, like a bird avoiding random encounter. Honestly, way more intense than I expected from someone who looks like they'd lose a fight to flan. All around solid, and thanks to this candy, I now have a dessert pilgrimage to plan. Inside jokes and entire bodies of water now available in Japan's candy aisle. Lake Biwa Gummy. Lake Biwa, Japan's biggest freshwater lake with a face only a mother could love. It's home to floating torii gates, historic castles, Baumkuchen, and somehow gummies. Unfortunately, these gummies are individually packaged. These came from Shiga, where Lake Biwa quietly supplies drinking water to both Kyoto and Osaka, which means Shiga locals get to flex a very specific regional power move. Be nice, or we'll turn off your water. More or less the joke printed on the front of the bag. They're supposed to be shaped like Lake Biwa, but you tell me what you see in this Rorschach test. Flavor says cider, but in Japan that usually means lemon lime soda. This one being somewhere between Sierra Mist, rest in peace, and bubblegum. Sweet and not too strong of a citrus punch, but the artificial aftertaste is a little strange, like being told a lake is actually an ocean. The perfect gummy has been created in Japan's candy aisle through the power of science. Gummy science. Lawson's brightest minds ran a study on gummy deliciousness. Cone shape? Trash. Pyramid? Even worse. But the truncated pentagonal pyramid, that's the future. Turns out the shape has ideal ratios of both texture and flavor, and I'm not about to argue with a bar graph. path. They even included their scientific process on the back, but there's only one way to really verify. Each one's coated in a light sour crystal dusting. Maybe odd for this flavor combo, but I'm never mad about bonus sour action. Based on my highly advanced tape measure analysis, the top is a soft and sweet cream soda jelly with immediate structural collapse the moment you bite down. But once you reach the tougher bottom, you're confronted by a gentle amount of honeydew melon. Ultimately, you end up with a slightly sour melon cream soda that gets a little overpowered by the vanilla forward cream. But overall, I'd say this was a triumph. Huge success. A bold step forward for mankind's candy aisle. These are the first gummies I've ever seen with a warning label. Japan's candy aisle isn't all fun and games. Sometimes it's out for blood. Extremely hard cola up gummy. Ranked at 5 out of 5 on the hardness scale, except that is just a baseline starting level for the rest of these. It's tough, chewy, and basically exactly what you'd expect from a mellow cola candy, but enough to give your jaw a slight workout and your tongue a cola refreshment. Melon soda up. I expected creamy vanilla and sweet honeydew. Instead, I got a muted artificial melon. The weakest of the bunch by far. Ramune up. Citrus and bubblegum collide and end on a slight cooling sensation. The first time I would gladly take Ramune over melon soda. Cola up the hard. Toughness 5+. Warning label. If you can't handle the sheer macroplastic power, Weenie Hut Jr.'s is right down the road. I might have taken some liberties with that translation. Baggage recommends this for people who want to chew through their problem. Obviously, one dental copay at a time. I was hoping for Nuka-Cola levels of innovation. Instead, you get a truck tire dipped in sweet cola syrup. But when they said it was tough, they meant it.